Hi, Rula here from Change Your Life Now. So today I want to talk about therapy. My modalities that I use, Reiki, healing, energy healing, um, hypnotherapy, neurolinguistic programming, and neuroenergetic kinesiology. These are the modalities that I have learnt and used over the years with my clients to help them process and to deal with certain issues that are going on in their lives, to take them to a balanced and happier sort of state of being. Um, what is therapy? You know, when we're not well, we have a pain, we have a disease of some sort, we have something going on on a physical level with our bodies. The first thing we do is we run to the doctor. We will do whatever we need to do to go and get our medication, to go and get seen to get the surgery, to get all the physical things that we need to do to deal with that problem. But do we realize that there's a reason why that physical thing has manifested in the body? Do we realize that there's an underlying reason why this has happened? And where does it start from? Where does it come from? Cancer takes more than 10 years to grow in the body. Cancer takes a long time for a tumor to grow and to manifest into. It's almost like a pot boiling, and the water is boiling, 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 gets to that point where it overflows. So all these diseases, autoimmune disease, all these major sort of diseases that we're experiencing now in our bodies in today's world are as a result of many years of treating our body badly, of not eating healthy, of not focusing on our emotional well-being and releasing and working on therapy and working on our emotions. We are a three-dimensional being, but we're also a spiritual being. We have energy in our body. Our body runs with electric currents, meridian system. Our nervous system is electric, and energetically we're vibrating. We have aura, we have an energy around us. To give you an example, you walk into a room and you feel the energy of the room. If there's sadness going on, you feel it. You feel, oh my God, what's going on in here? We feel it. But we are not taught to connect to our energetic components of our body. We're not taught to understand our intuition. We're not taught to understand our inbuilt ability to assess and to see and to read a room and to read a person and to understand. We all have this ability. But when we're unwell, we only focus on the physical. And what I do in my work is I encourage my clients to look at all aspects of their being. It's not just the physical. You are a beautiful being that has emotions. And we have been taught by the system not to believe, not to feel our emotions. Oh no, don't be silly. You can't cry. Come on, be brave, man up, things like that. Don't be afraid. Come on, don't be afraid. Get out there, do this. But yet we feel fear. We feel anger and frustration. Those are all emotions that we are learning at a very, very young age, from the moment we're born. And we learn it from one experience, that first experience, and we learn it and it becomes entrenched. We learn it because it's part of the fight or flight response. So you will have a fight or flight response. You're in a situation where you don't feel safe, and immediately your brain, the chemistry of the brain will say, oh, the amygdala and the limbic system will say, there's a lion attacking you. You need to run away, or you need to fight, or you need to freeze for your safety and protection. And the system has encouraged us to freeze. It's encouraged us to keep our emotions within us. It's encouraged us to be brave and to hold on to that fear, hold on to that anger. And we're not aware of it. We're not taught how to release it. We're not taught how to let it go. So over the years, it goes and it manifests and it manifests and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And if we haven't released it, it becomes set into our chemistry. It sets at a cellular level. It goes into every single part at a minuscule level of the cell, and obviously into the bones and the muscles and the ligaments and the fascia, the surrounding of the muscles. And that's where the stress sits. And it causes some kind of physical pain after many, many years. So therapy is so important that you realize this, that it might not be a physical problem of bowel cancer, for example, or breast cancer. It might be something deeper that has caused years and years and years of these cells to wake up the chromosome that we all have cancer cells in our body. But what has epigenetics talks about this, that somehow something has triggered that cell to now grow. And it's often to do with a negative emotion, something negative. We call it negative because it's not serving us. It's something that has put us in fight or flight. And because we suppress it and we hold on to it, it now starts multiplying. And then the cancer cells grow and they grow and they grow. And then we get the cancer, the tumors, the breakouts, whatever it is that we experience. Autoimmune disease, diabetics, all these diseases that make a huge difference in us shutting down. And when you often look at old people, when they get to a certain stage in their lives, they haven't lived a healthy life, they've had a lot of sadness, especially this generation that's beyond, like my parents' generation, for example. They ended up with a lot of physical problems. They ended up with back problems, with kidney problems, with cancer. Physically, they weren't mobile, Alzheimer's, dementia, all those kind of things, which is all to do with not releasing emotions. And there was a lot of trauma in their lives. They were the generation of the war, and they moved and they immigrated to all different parts of the world. And there was a lot of suffering, and there was a lot of trauma. They were away from their families. They were in new environments. You've got to look at that whole aspect of that generation and how they haven't done the work to release their trauma. They haven't done the work to understand the pain that they went through, the changes in their lives. And as they get to their older ages, they have these ailments. That is why the next generation, sort of our generation, is a lot more aware of our health and well-being. And we're aware of eating clean. We're aware it's coming back now. We're starting to realize that the toxins in our food and in our water has destroyed our body. And we're starting to be more open to eating clean, healthy food. We're starting to be aware of exercising. We are awakening, of course. We're going through this transformation. And of course, everything that happens around us is causing us to wake up and to realize that there's more to being healthy than just the food that we eat, for example. There's more to being healthy with our way of living. Are we materialistic? Are we focusing on work, work, work? Are we focusing on family? Are we raising our children in a healthy way? Or are we just putting them in the institutions for the schools to raise our children for us? And we focusing on money and focusing on improving our financial situation and buying the next house and going on the next holiday. Are we happy? Does that make us happy? When did we disconnect from that family unity that we had in the past? That community where we helped each other and the grandparents were there to help raise the children, the older generation and the younger generation working together. That's all gone. And we're at a stage in our lives now where we realize we want it back. We want it back, and we want to be healthy. And we want to work on ourselves. And we can see the stress that the young people are going through today. So many young folks don't know what they want in their lives. They don't know how to be happy. They're always looking for things, and they're frustrated and they don't know. They come out of the education system not knowing what they want to study. They come out not having a clue about who they are. And that is why therapy is so important. Invest in your therapy. Invest in yourself. I'm talking to all generations here. I'm talking to the older folks who are in their mature ages and they don't understand why they're so unwell, because your body has its ability to heal itself. We produce new cells all the time. So when you start uncovering the layers of your trauma, of your emotional baggage that you've been carrying, your fear, your anger, your resentment, your jealousy, your hurt, your sadness, all these emotions that we've held onto and we haven't processed. Where did they come from? How did they start? Why are we still carrying them? maybe that will allow you to release that burden and to set you free from that energetic component that is blocking you. And you can actually heal your body. You can. You can heal your body and you can be happier and you can enjoy the rest of your life. Life is short. The next generation, the younger generation who are raising children and who are focusing on their careers and developing themselves financially, what is important to you? Is it the system? Is it the careers? Is it the corporations? What is important to you? What are you preparing your children for? How are you giving them a better world to live in? Are you living in fear? Are you talking to each other in a negative way and saying, oh, this is wrong and that is wrong and this is a problem and that is a problem? Or are you looking at just being with your families, connecting with your children, connecting with your teenagers, helping them through their difficulties, having conversations with them, talking to them about life, going through some form of therapy so that they can understand who they are? The younger children of today, the teenagers of today, the 20-year-olds of today are struggling. They are so disconnected from their families, from their parents, because we've lost this bond. So they need the therapy, they need the help. And often they won't get it from their own parents. They don't want to hear it from their parents because we could go down this rabbit hole of understanding the soul's journey and the understanding of why families choose to be together. Why does the soul choose to come into a family's life? Why do we choose our siblings? Why do we choose our parents? That is part of the therapy. That is part of understanding. And when you have a child who has mental health issues, they won't take it from you as a parent because they feel judged by you or because you trigger them. So they might take it from someone else who they can resonate with, who they can feel a sense of connection with. We need to help them through this. We need to help them through this mental health. It's not about giving them medication. It's not about giving them a pill that will keep it suppressed. No, it's about doing the work. It's about doing the therapy, the conversations, the groups, the counseling. It's about understanding why they have chosen to be on this planet, why they have chosen to be in this body, because they've come already hating their bodies. Therapy is a powerful way of living a healthy, beautiful, balanced life. You need to go back to the past. You need to understand why you have these beliefs. You need to look at it from a spiritual perspective. Why did your soul choose to be here? We're disconnected from our souls. We're disconnected from our higher self, the God within us. We're disconnected from spirituality, from the divine. Yes, religion has been good. It served its purpose. But now we're going to the next level where we have to understand the deeper meaning of spirituality, of unconditional love, of care and compassion and kindness. And all the religions talk about that. It's not just this religion versus that religion, right? That is why there are wars. We have to understand that we're all the same. We're just human beings. We all have the same blood. We all have the same cells. We have to just we need the therapy. We have to work on ourselves to understand and to let go of limiting beliefs, emotions, programming, social constraints, cultural problems, because we're living in a world now where we need to find some kind of uniformity, some kind of unity. We need to love each other. We need to find compassion. And the only way we can do that is if we work on ourselves. So for us to see a change in our world of turmoil and craziness and wars and economic disasters and physical disasters, we need to work on ourselves from a one-to-one on an individual basis. And once we understand what we're going through and our sort of imbalances, we will understand that every single one of us is connected. And that the energy that we produce, if all of us are in this negative state and all of us are in this stressed and fear and anxiety and I can't do this, we're actually vibrating at that same level. We have to work on ourselves as individuals so that we can heal ourselves and take us to a higher vibration of unconditional love and compassion and kindness, that beautiful God within us, which is love. And when we do that and we start having these conversations with our children and with our loved ones, we will make the change that we need to see in the world. It starts from us, one by one. Thank you. Namaste.